Welcome back to Harvest Moon Wonderful Life Special Edition. This is Showboat, and you may notice a change in how I sound today. That is, because I just completely overhauled the entirety of my audio processing setup yet again, mind you. Overhauled it. It sounds much better to me now. It's like night and day compared to what it has been for the past little while. I am terribly sorry about it being that way the past little while. It is not up to my standards. But anyway, from here on out, it should be just fine. As long as it doesn't, do horrible, terrible things. This is why I just hit the save button on Edition, because I hadn't done that yet. Oops. So yeah, today, made a couple more sashimi. All the fish we have are worth more than 150 as far as I am aware, so I'm not going to convert them. Hi, how you doing? Whatever. Sleep. I will save this time because I did make those 2 units of sashimi. So in order to cook now, we actually have to go to the back of the house, which is very interesting to me. But yeah, we have to go back to the back of the house, and the thing is, the kitchen is so big that you have to physically move in order to make another dish. Yeah, it's slightly more annoying to cook now. And don't think that we are through the woods quite yet in terms of the potential crashing in the house. We can still have the game freeze up and crash on us inside the house. It will happen. I guarantee it. It will happen at some point. We're going to eat our mugwort. That opening and closing of a door that you're hearing is from Takakura, if I'm not mistaken. Hi, he is over there. Let's go harvest this other mugwort over here. I need to remember where all the mugwort is. We have to go and, camera, would you please stop doing that? I really don't like that, the camera is doing that. So... feed the cow. I hope it gives birth today. Put it in, put it in. I mean, the cow's been in here this whole time anyway. I don't know why you have to frickin' isolate it, but whatever. Going in. Hi. She will give birth in a few more days, whatever. Soon, quotation marks. So, what's been going on lately for me? Since these end up just being primarily vlog-type videos anyway. No you don't. Get the hell up. So for me, it's November 10th, a Tuesday. This will be going up on a Wednesday. Supremely thankful that I don't have to record evening editions this week. At least not today. Not yesterday. Thursday will be semi-evening edition. By the way, this kid's older. I don't know if you could tell. He's a little bit older. Taking after his dad, of course, with the whole fitness thing. So let's see what's been going on. Well, yesterday was Monday. Very long day for me. Extremely long day for me, in all actuality. I was grading from from the time that I finished my 10 a.m. meeting, which is about 11 when my meeting ended. I was grading those same exams that I've been talking about for a while now, and until like half to 3, like 2:30 in the afternoon. So for those several hours, I was grading, and then not half to 3, half to 4. It was 3:30 by the time that I stopped. So it was like 4.5 hours of grading in total. Still like 30 some odd left when I stopped. Hopefully someone will be by to finish them off today. That would be ideal. And then someone else is like putting the grades into a spreadsheet that will get added together. Essentially all the scores will just be added together, and then the curve will essentially be just however many points it takes to give someone a 100%. So, yeah, that's how that will go. And I am not a part of that. I am essentially just done with that grading. I graded so many of those tests myself when there's supposed to be 4 people, 4 TAs. I'm the GTA. There's 3 other undergrad TAs. They're the ones who should be doing all the work. God darn it. They're the ones who get paid by the hour. It's like they should want to do this to get paid by the hour, but nah, it hasn't happened this time around. I don't know why. And then, well, one of those 3 is the one that's actually inputting the scores, so it's like, okay, fine, you don't have to do the actual grading. But when she notices that there's tests that clearly don't deserve the amount of points that they got, and that is a bit of a problem. So I was like, oh gosh, because this happened. A person got 14 points, the full 14 points on their written portion of their test, and really shouldn't have gotten those 14 points. Yes, it was like, no, they did not do what they needed to do to get all 14 points on that. It was more like 9 or 8 points, not 14. Just at first glance, I was like, and this was pointed out by the person inputting the grades. It's like she looked at it and she was like, this doesn't seem right. And yeah, so I had to tell the person who graded it, like, hey, you should look over the things that you've graded, because this one is not good. Just recheck that again and make sure you didn't do that to others. Yeah, we have to make sure there's at least some semblance of parity between how each of, well, I guess the 3 of us have graded these particular assignments. I mean, just by nature of there being different people doing grading, there's going to be some variance. Some people will give more or less points than others. That's just how it happens. Anytime you have to write something out like that, even if it, unless it's math, there is going to be subjectivity in the whole arrangement. So, can I please, like, order the clearing of that field now? Or do I have to, like, talk to someone? Do I have to, like, talk to Vesta and have her be like, hey, maybe you should clear out your bigger field so you can plant the things? Or maybe I have to get the character that we have become friends with Takakura in order to get. We shall see. I think Vesta might be in here. I'm uncertain. Hi, how you doing? No? Alright, goodbye. So yeah, that's a thing that was brought up yesterday. It's like, okay, fine. Just go and fix stuff. Then I had class at 4. Which, I mean, it was class. It's lecture. Was fine. Actually getting into ecology of lakes now. Right at the end. Right at the end. We're gonna have a test on the Monday of Thanksgiving week. In that class that I'm taking. So I will have a test on at 4 p.m. on the Monday of Thanksgiving week, and then the 150 students will have their test on the Tuesday of Thanksgiving week at 8 a.m. So yeah, that's pretty fun, right? That's pretty fun. I wonder how many will show up to that, because the lowest exam grade does get dropped. I think I've asked this before in this show, series, whatever. It's like, I wonder how many will show up. But anyhoozle, what else has gone on? Well, today, I just basically went to class and came straight back. I didn't eat, and I had to go to the store. So I guess I didn't technically come straight back after the class. I stopped at the store to get groceries and things so that I could, live. Living is good. Living is pretty nice. And you sort of need food to live. That's actually been the topic in 150 lately. Is metabolism, respiration, that sort of stuff. Converting sugars into energy. That's what it's been. So yeah, topical. And yeah, I got a package today. I could talk about the package that I got today. In the package was 2 things. One of which is a manga volume. It is a Dragonar Academy Volume 8, which is interesting because this should start up like something new. The previous 7 was all like was one big story arc. I think it covered the entirety of the show. I still need to see the show. I still need to see the anime of it, but I have read Dragonar Academy, so I've set that aside on my desk to be sure that I actually read it. Because there's a lot of volumes that I get that I haven't really started reading the series yet, so it's like, okay, just stick it on the shelf and we'll be fine. But the stuff I'm actively reading, I just set on the desk, and eventually I'll read it. Eventually I'll get around to it. The other thing that was in my box is Rise of the Tomb Raider. I bought Rise of the Tomb Raider. I've had it pre-ordered for a long time. Actually, when I say a long time, I mean the day that I did a massive purchase of manga, I also pre-purchased Rise of the Tomb Raider with all of it. And when I say a massive purchase of manga, I mean it was 3 or 4 transactions that were huge. One of those transactions was exclusively pre-orders of basically every manga that I was interested in that was releasing before the end of the year. Well, before I have to leave to go home before the end of the year. So that was that. That was that. Yesterday, I guess I got stuff too. I did get stuff yesterday too, which I should probably mention. So yesterday I got my space bags. That was pretty nice. I got that. I haven't played with them yet because I didn't get back until pretty late. So yeah, I haven't played with that yet. I'll do it eventually. That's mainly just to help when I head home over the holidays. Which there will be a pause in this particular series when I do have my holidays. It'll be my vacation. I won't be making videos. I'll be home. I will be away from my desktop. One of the reasons why I bought a $1,700 laptop. And yeah, the other thing was a 6 terabyte hard drive. It was a Seagate 6 terabyte Seagate hard drive, standard hard drive. The problem with it, yes, there was a problem with it. It doesn't have the standard mounting holes. It is missing 2. It's missing 2 from the sides that every other hard drive has ever. And this is not their 6 terabyte like cold storage drive either. This is their consumer normal standard 6 terabyte hard drive. It is missing 2 screw holes. So my computer has caddies. They actually have wings on them that you open up, and they have like little plastic pins that like push in to the screw holes, so you don't actually have to screw anything. It's all tool free. Yeah, I had to break those off. I had to break the wings off in order to actually get it to go into the computer, go into the hard drive cage. That 6 terabyte drive is replacing my old 640 gigabyte Western Digital Caviar Black drive that I think it was the last remaining component of the original computer that I had bought in like late-ish January, early February of 2011. Yeah, it's pretty late, pretty early 2011. When I had originally bought the first desktop, I ordered a system from iBuyPower because I thought it was a really good price, and I went through and I checked all of the components that were included in the system. I checked all of their individual prices from other sources, and it was a better deal when I took shipping into account. So I ended up buying the pre-built system, and for the time it was okay. It came with a 640 gigabyte hard drive as its only drive, and it was the Sandy Bridge based system. So I had the i7 2600K, and the motherboard for it. I don't know if I can remember the model number. It was an MSI P67A GD55. Yes, that is the designation. A P67A GD55 motherboard. With the i7 2600K and an Acetec all-in-one liquid cooling unit to cool the CPU. The thing about it was when I bought it, those motherboards and processors had literally just released. They were brand new. And I ordered this system, and a day before, or the day of, my system being finished and shipping to me, they announced the recall of all P67 motherboards due to a defect in the chipset that would degrade the SATA 2 ports over time. I don't know how many of you may remember this or even have heard of it, but it was a thing. It existed. It was supposed to be a problem that would only have an impact over the course of several years. Like after 2 years, it would start to show a performance loss. like just start to show performance loss. Yeah, that didn't happen with me. My SATA 2 ports were dead after a couple of months of owning the computer. They were dead. Straight up dead. And I only came across them being dead after I had at first bought a 2 terabyte hard drive to expand my system, which is still part of my system now, but technically not part of the original system, and 2 solid-state drives. 2 90GB Corsair Force 3 series solid-state drives, which are still my current OS drives. Now, I came to notice this as a problem, because, of course, I only had, on that particular motherboard, 2 SATA 3.0 ports. So I would have the OS drive plugged in, and I would try to plug in... Actually, no. No. I remember this specifically because it was after I bought the 2 terabyte drive, before I bought those SSDs. The system had a DVD optical drive. It came with a DVD optical drive. I didn't really have too much control over that. My system now does not have one. So what happened was I had the 640GB hard drive and the 2 terabyte hard drive hooked up to the SATA 3.0 6GB per second ports, and I plugged in the optical drive to the SATA 2 ports. And when I tried to use the optical drive, it wasn't detected. I noticed it wasn't detected. And after changing the ports to every SATA 2 port, it still wouldn't work. So then, that's when I noticed the problem. What caused it to happen so quickly was that the graphics card I had for that system was an NVIDIA GTX 470, and there was this thing going on, nearly enough starting out around that time, called Bitcoin mining. So if you don't know, the 400 series of graphics cards ran really flipping hot. Really flipping hot. They're like 90 degrees minimum Celsius that they ran at. And yeah, that drastically... and it sat right over the chipset too, so yeah, that drastically caused a difference in the amount of time it took to degrade the SATA 2 ports. So that's my story. I'm glad that I have gotten rid of all of that now. If you want to know my current system, it is on my website. All of the juicy details. But now I have the 6 terabyte drive, and it's wonderful. I put all of my old videos on that drive, and it's allowing me now to render videos to a drive that my games aren't installed on. So now I can just set my videos to render to a drive that I'm not using to play a game, so it shouldn't impact the game performance when the videos finish rendering and are being written to drive, which is cool. I like. The next upgrade, though, is to get another one so I can RAID 1 that particular archival drive, and then I also would like to get an M.2 SSD to replace the current RAID array. Probably get a 1 terabyte solid-state drive separately to put all the games on. So yeah, I've got lots of plans for my system, in case you couldn't tell, in terms of storage, because that's basically the very last thing that it's like the only thing now that I can potentially optimize on my system, because everything I own is like top of the line. It's like, in order to upgrade the graphics cards, I would need to spend like $2,000 minimum. And it wouldn't be much of an upgrade, because my graphics cards are freaking GTX 980s. The only thing I could upgrade to are the GTX 980 Ti's. And I would need 2 of them, because I have 2 of them. and they're really expensive, and I would need the Poseidons, which are even more expensive. So it's like, oh god, no. It's not worth it to upgrade any other parts besides the drives at this point. So yeah, with that, we're done for the day. I would like to thank you all for watching. This has been Showboat, and I will see you all on the next one, where Van will arrive. Yeah, Van will arrive. I will attempt to remember to do, like, research to figure out what I need to do in order to be able to purchase the field extension during this season. So yeah, I will see you all then.